It was just a few short days ago, Cardano was making a very nice move to the upside. Since then, all those gains erased. What are the charts saying? Also, what is all the hype about SundaeSwap? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. I really appreciate your support as we grow this YouTube channel. This is it. This is the move we're going to talk about. There's that. The gains were there. We were on our way, right? And then boom, reset. I'm going to talk about that. Also want to talk about the weekly, the daily chart, some clues that a move is getting ready to happen. And so I want to talk about that. Before we do, I tweeted this the other day. I said, I literally can't believe all the ground floor opportunity that's getting ready to launch on Cardano blockchain. This is way bigger than just ADA. Pay attention, everyone. I think there's a lot of quiet people out there that are invested in Cardano. You're not in the comments, but I think you're out there. I think you see the same thing. There's no way I can be the only one that is just hyped not only about ADA, but about like the incoming ecosystem, right? And so that is the part of the opportunity with Cardano. I really see it. All these projects. And one such project that I'm really excited about is SundaeSwap. Of course, I'm going to talk about this real quick, everybody. Go vote for CCV. We're trying to get that vote so we can be a stake pool operator participating in their ISO when they launch, right? And just an FYI, if you don't know, they're waiting on their audit, right? That's kind of like the final missing piece to the puzzle. They're doing an independent audit by runtime verification. So they're waiting for that. But once this vote's over, once the DEX goes live, I really would enjoy being a part of their ISO and a part of this process as a stake pool operator. So all you have to do, you don't even need this website. You really don't, but this is all you have to do. On the website, it does give us this amount, 2.923, right? So you want to put 2.923. All you have to do is go in your Daedalus, your Roy, your Nami wallet, and send yourself in that same wallet. So you get your receiving address, send yourself 2.923 ADA, and that's it. That means you cast a vote for CCV. Now, if you have another stake pool operator you want to support, like just right off the top of my head, Cardano with Paul, right? I love his content. He's a good dude. This is what it does. We still have the 2.923 for CCV, and it adds 968 at the end. So this is the amount. If you want to kind of vote for two pools at once, that's the amount you would send to yourself. That's how you vote. I truly appreciate your support. And again, SundaeSwap, in terms of when it goes live and the distribution is going, it's 5% of the 2 billion available Sundae tokens that are going to basically be given out through this process when they launch during the initial stake pool offering, right? The ISO. And these tokens, by the way, are going to be used for multiple different things, governance, staking, and probably so much more. So it's a really exciting time for Cardano blockchain because this is going to be, in my opinion, a very pivotal, important platform in the ecosystem. It's just my opinion. And I've been excited about SundaeSwap for a while. This wasn't that long ago. Back in August, talking to Pi, had him on the channel. We did the first live testnet swap through SundaeSwap, and it was a really fun time. It was a very fun live stream, and I think there's really exciting things to come for SundaeSwap. So everybody, gonna keep asking for your support. We have 3 days, 22 hours. Let's pivot. Let's pivot to ADA. This is ADA on the 6 hour. We're gonna take a look at it. Before we do, I want to talk about this. This is kind of probably somewhere in the title of this video, a big move kind of setting up, a big move getting ready to happen. And I really just think it is. I think we've done such a good job being patient, right? And I see all you in the comments. There's so many of you. You're just patient, you're steady, you're just patient holders, patient ADA holders, right? And I see so many on Twitter too. And we've done a good job, I would say. Post Alonzo hard fork, the consolidation happened. We know it. We talk about it. I have to keep talking about it because it's the biggest reference point that we have on these charts. But we have these 3 yellow arrows. That's kind of what I want to talk about. Specifically, this one, right? This was consolidation after Shelly hard fork into that 20-week moving average. It was just patience. It was needed here, right? And we talk about that often. But do we ever really dig into that data, right? What's going on here in this consolidation on the daily, this consolidation around the 20-week moving average? What's going on there? What's going on here when Cardano got pulled into the 20-week moving average after the Mary hard fork compared to what's going on pulled into the 20-week moving average? I want to dig into that. So here are some things to look at. This is the daily chart. We're going to dig into these areas. So here is the post Shelley hard fork. And this is just the best, coolest data we have on technical analysis for Cardano. It's why I have these green rectangles up all the time. It's why I talk about it all the time, because I just think, coming from technical analysis, by the way, for me, it's taking historical data, it's taking current data, and it's not predicting the future. It's just allowing us to get a very good idea of what could be next, meaning targets to the upside and downside, right? And time frame of that actually happening. And the reason we can anticipate things like that, even things like time frame, is because these markets, as volatile as they are, they do kind of become extremely consistent. And I think that's because all of these markets are based on human emotion, right? That's why when you get overbought, there's a very strong likelihood that it's coming down. When you get oversold, there's a good likelihood it's going up, because human emotion is behind it. Humans are watching the charts and the data, and they're making the decisions. That's why we see these trends. That's why we see these harmonies on the charts all the time. And so we're going to dig into that real quick based around these data points, meaning these hard forks: Alonzo hard fork, smart contracts; Mary hard fork, multi-asset ledger; Shelley hard fork, staking mechanism, right? So check this out. When we're getting the consolidation on the weekly right here on the Shelley hard fork, and then the Mary, and then the Alonzo hard fork, this is what's going on. We had, first off, just to put this very simply, a 53% dip to the downside, ultimately, along this entire consolidation. The other very important piece that I want to talk about is we had the 20-day moving average cross below the blue line, that 50-day, and finally coming, and I should zoom in so we can see this a little bit better, but back then, it actually dipped below the 20-day moving average, dipped below the 50-day briefly once again. So for Cardano, it finally got that separation of the 20-day from the 50. Cardano popped. It took, from when it got the initial cross, 20-day below the 50-day, the green over the blue line, it took 86 days for Cardano to kind of do that consolidation and then pop to the upside for continuation, right? And this was back in November. This was when Bitcoin was entering the bull market. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, check this out. Mary hard fork, 40% to the downside, ultimately. 40% to the downside. Tons of patience needed back here, if you remember. And then we got this pop to the upside, all-time high. It was awesome, but then boom, it just tanked again. Now keep this in mind. When we got that initial 20-day moving average cross below the 50-day, that time, it took, before it crossed back above and we got the pop most recently this summer to all-time highs again, that took 54 days, right? So we had a 20-day moving average cross that took ultimately 86 days to consolidate, for ADA to consolidate before moving to the upside. Then we had another 20-day moving average cross after the next hard fork that took 54 days of consolidation when that happened before popping to the upside. And to give you a sense, so far, we have a 42% total dip from the recent all-time high. So very consistent with these previous ones: 40% dip, 53% dip, 42% dip. Nothing's new here, is it, everybody? This is almost so commonplace. You're like, wait a second. Is it really this simple that it's repeating itself? And this is what the charts do. You can open up any crypto. I'm not saying it always happens. And everybody, I should have mentioned this earlier, not financial advice. You know it's not financial advice. This is data. This is just data I'm tracking. But check this out. Crazy cool data. 42% to the downside. And then now we're getting consolidation. And we're in the same exact type of consolidation, which is after the 20-day moving average cross below the 50-day. It's just sideways, right? It's testing our patience as it has done previously, multiple times. Now, 49 days so far since Cardano has seen the 20-day moving average cross below the 50-day, right? That green line crossing below the blue line. 49 days. So last time took 54 days. Time before that actually took even longer. Imagine that, before getting that pop. And here we are, 49 days. So we're still under the previous two consolidations. There could very well be another 3 weeks, 20 days or so. There could be a few more days, but it's all kind of coming together as this average of consolidation. Now, what's so cool about this, and you can look at it however you want, because it doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% bullish. What's so cool about where we are in this consolidation with these moving averages, and we're kind of waiting for this 20-day moving average just to pop back below the 50 or back above the 50-day moving average. We're waiting for that bullish move. We're at a really, really critical area in terms of patterns. And that's what we can talk about next as we dig into the 6 hour. Check this clip out from 3 days ago. This is what we want to talk about, the throwback rate, 60% throwback rate. So meaning you're getting a breakout, and let's go back to the daily chart. You're getting a breakout. A throwback is when you see, boom, coming back. You know this. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm trying to really, really illustrate so strongly how like awesome the technical analysis stuff is. This isn't anything I did. I'm reading, I read the patternsite.com, right? I studied his data. This is based off of 1,300 perfect trades in a bull market environment and bull market results. And he's talking about descending triangle results, 60% throwback rate. We look at it, we prepared for it because of that 60% data. And it happened, right? It doesn't mean it was definitely going to happen, but it's happened and it's happening now. And it's no surprise that Cardano is literally bouncing at the upper trend line, at the apex. Will it hold? It might not. That's what we watch for. This is where we start talking about confirmations. This is where we start saying, all right, here we go. Now, as we're getting this pullback, which is nice, we have another thing going on. This swing low that we had, this kind of capitulation type of environment, that 190 to $2 range Cardano fell into the end of October, to that swing high, coming back down, you can also see Cardano testing a very, very important higher low Fibonacci. Will that hold? So let me chart that real quick. It's this swing low to that swing high. And this is a 6 hour chart. And we have a 618 right around 203. I mean, it's right below where we are right now. To a 786 around $1.93. We talk about that $1.90 to $2 range being huge support. Well, there's an additional confluent area of support right there. Doesn't mean it's going to hold. We need it to hold, right? But this lower trend line of the descending triangle, all in that 190 to $2 range. Not to mention, we are now at the apex of the descending triangle. We know the target to the upside, if there were to be a bullish bounce, boom, target to the upside in that $3 range. But we also know if this was a failed breakout and this pattern continues to the downside, $1.30 to $1.40. A lot of people out there will comment and say, Dan, you're telling me it could go to $1.30 or it can go to $3. Thanks a lot for your useless YouTube video. And all I can say to you is we start getting insights, and we start getting those insights based off of confirmations, meaning if this support fails and it's closing below, we're getting candles closing below and then trying to break back above and failing, we get insights into, I don't want to say the predictability of it, but the likelihood of things, right? And even without anything happening right now, we have two targets. And at the end of the day, this is life. And this is how I approach things. Something, and this is something my dad taught me, extreme contrast analysis. Look at the best upside scenario, the worst downside scenario, make your decisions in life. I'm not talking about just the charts, but it applies to the charts. And this is what it looks like. This is how you make wise decisions. You're prepared for every scenario. If you're sitting out there and you're just trying to predict and you're trying to watch YouTube videos, trying to get, price predictions on where something's going next, and you're making your financial decisions on that, that's not very wise at all. You're gambling. You're gambling. You're not managing your money. You're gambling with it. But when you have these targets and we're tracking the data and we're starting to get some vibes of momentum and the likelihood of some things happening versus others, then we're making wise decisions. And that's why I do technical analysis. So we do have our targets, but right now we're watching for support in this general area, the $1.90 to $2. Again, this is going up to like right around 203. Cardano's right above it right now. So at the very least, after this breakout and coming back down, it's nice to see Cardano holding above this area. But I mean, is it going to stall out and just fall through? Be very prepared for something like that. What we want to see is a strong bounce above, even on the short term, I could go to an hour or an hourly. I'm not going to, but we want to see a strong bounce off of this apex, the upper trend line, off of this Fibonacci that we just charted, that green rectangle. We want to see a bounce, and we want to see ultimately the bullish confirmation, which is the swing high to that swing low we just had. We want to see a move like this. Cardano's getting back up here to a lower high resistance and breaking above it. That lower high resistance right now, 618 at 220 to the 786 at 228. That is the area Cardano needs to get to. I will not be overly bullish if Cardano starts making a move right now and we're at 215. It'll be fun, exciting to see a move like that. Wouldn't even really be overly bullish if we get to 220. That's where resistance begins. We need to break through this entire green rectangle, the 220 to 228. Then we can start talking about bullish confirmation. Cardano might be off to the races in an environment like that, but be careful to the downside, everybody. Be careful as Cardano tests support right now. Those are my thoughts, everybody. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Cardano? I love and appreciate all of you out there. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.